Hello, everybody. This is Craig Henderson. I'm going to be your host for today. And today we welcome back Danny from the Nagaya NGY team. We're going to learn more about the exciting developments that have been going on since our last session. And of course, the much awaited listing that's soon to be on La Token platform. So, Danny, pleasure to meet you today. How are you? Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, great. Nice to meet you, man. All good here. How are you doing?
Doing great, man. Doing great. So, since this is your second time on the show, can you just tell us a little bit more about some of the developments and updates that you can share with us since the last AMA session?
Sure. It's actually a third time, I think, Craig.
Third, okay.
Yeah.
Well, a regular
It's
now.
AMA with La Token. So since the last time we had our AMA, there are a few developments that is actually happened for Nagaya. The first one is our CEO, Mr. Johannes Chandra, has been honored with not just one, but two prestigious Korean National Brand Awards under the category of Best CEO as well as the category of Overseas Resource Development, specifically for development and application of the innovational Nagaya method. So this is interesting, Craig, because the Nagaya method has actually become very famous in Korea, South
Okay.
Korea size, right? Because the CEO, of course, the company Nagaya is able to combine and blend the resource development, which is nickel, and blockchain into one project, right? Into one company. And that's called the Nagaya method in South Korea. And we have been awarded for that as well. So we've been acknowledged by the government that's a government given award. And we are proud to be the first foreign company to receive the award.
Yeah, South Korea is really, adopting, making good strides in as far as blockchain adoption.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And we are really glad, we are really proud to be able to catch the eyes of the government and have their support for us to expand further on what we are doing with Nagaya, right? And then we have actually been listed on La Token, Craig. we have been listed already on the 29th December, and we are also registered in CoinGecko, waiting for CoinMarketCap real soon. So that's just a little
perfect.
Since our last summer.
Perfect. Thanks for those updates. So, can you just give our listeners some reasons on some of the benefits of hodling Nagaya?
Sure. Why should you hold Nagaya? First one is increasing projects. Right now, we are running one project. Our Nagaya method, Craig, involves us running projects, real physical projects, right? Resource development companies that provides some form of benefit in the form of staking to our Nagaya holders. So when you hold Nagaya, you're going to receive the benefits that we receive from the net profit of the projects. And in the future, our commitment as a company is we're going to keep looking for more projects that we're going to run, that we're going to establish, right? And the more projects that we run, the total supply of Nagaya will not increase. There's only 50 million supply, right? 50 million Nagaya available. It will not increase, right? So the more projects that we run, that means more benefits in the form of the staking, but the Nagaya does not increase, right? So that means you're going to receive more staking from the projects, right? So that's one reason why you should hold Nagaya, right? And then second of all, Craig, there's a lot of talks that's going on about real world asset tokenization right now. Everybody's talking about it.
Yeah, that's always been a big something that I've been big on,
Yeah. Everybody's talking about it now, right? Everybody's big on that. Everybody's betting on it. They're saying like it's the next big thing. It's like it's the next wave. And fortunately for us, Craig, we've been doing that since 2018.
Mm-hmm.
We've been tokenizing. We've been tokenizing real world. Nagaya has been around since 2018, and our first project has been nickel mining.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It is estimated that the real world asset tokenization industry is going to be worth $16 trillion by Binance report. It states that it's going to be worth $16 trillion, and we are already in that field, and we are constantly looking for real world projects in specific with nickel. That we're going to constantly run and establish, that we're going to constantly give benefits to our holders. That's number two, real world asset tokenization. Number three, why should you hold Nagaya, is because we run our projects in the form of nickel. Now, in the 21st century, nickel is known as the next gold, right? Because because right now nickel is one of the main constituent for the creation of the electric vehicle battery. So and Indonesia is the biggest exporter for nickel worldwide, and this is the business that's known to have a huge barrier to entry, and we happen to be in that field. But also, this is a field that has a good long-term potential, right? So we are really proud, we are really honored to be in this field, and we are constantly going to expand on this. The next one is gold. Aside from receiving benefits from the projects, Nagaya is also backed by gold, right?
Okay.
There's a certain allocation that we're going to use to increase the gold backing each Nagaya up. So in the future, the gold that's backing each Nagaya up will also increase. So at the same time you're receiving benefits from the project, the gold that's backing each Nagaya up will also increase in the future,
Right.
right?
So even without the other benefits that you mentioned, it's always going to be worth at least that amount of gold that's backing it, at the
It,
very least.
yeah, exactly. So we expect the price of Nagaya. Let's just see gold as a risk management strategy, Craig. We expect that the price of Nagaya will not drop below the value of gold that's backing it up. So that's like the risk management, and the profit is what will actually give the real benefits to our holders. And
Gotcha.
the last one, the last one is collabs and utilities. We are always looking for collaborations, Craig, and benefits that our holders all over the world, wherever you are, will experience and will enjoy, that no other group of individuals anywhere in the world can receive, right? Right now, for example, Nagaya holders can receive discounts for select hotels in Bali, Indonesia. So if you're looking to visit Bali and go for a vacation, man,
Yeah, it's
you get
definitely
some
on my it's on my
Nagaya.
list for sure.
You get some Nagaya, and there are select hotels that will provide you additional discounts that's even lower than the price on the website, right? That you can receive as a Nagaya holder. And also there is a hospital in Malaysia, it's called Beacon Hospital, where they provide select treatments with additional discounts only for Nagaya holders.
That's
So
pretty
our
impressive.
that's our goal in the future, the projects, real world asset, gold, and utilities. That's why you should hold Nagaya.
No, those are definitely excellent reasons. Very, I'm sure listeners out there that are like myself appreciate actual, a project with real utility. And like you said, I've been myself as far as real world tokenized real world assets. Because when I got into the blockchain, I was looking at certain industries that made sense, that aligned itself with blockchain, like what, not actually looking for a solution to a non-existent problem, but like a problem where blockchain would lend itself and actually be a ready-made solution. Obviously, real world assets is to me one of the main ones where it makes sense. So definitely very, very interesting there. Thanks for that explanation. So
I
the
agree.
next,
I agree
so
with you, Craig, because ultimately, if we create technology and that technology doesn't provide any real life benefits to the world, to human beings, then what's the point, right?
exactly, exactly,
So it's a matter of time. It's about time, and the time is now.
perfect. And so the next question: what are the latest updates for Nagaya to expand its reach to new markets and to bring in that global audience?
Oh man, we would love to share this concept with many people in the world. Currently, we are about 60,000 holders strong from over 60 countries all over the world, and we did that before being listed. Craig. We did our ICO for 5 years, believe it or not.
Man, yeah, that's
And
impressive. And the
that's
community is
really
going to be the
long.
backbone of any successful project, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, 5 years. We've been around since 2018, Craig, and we have just been listed recently in December, right, in the token. And we have 60,000 members from 60 different countries, 60 plus countries, right? So our vision is that we want to share this concept with as many people in the world as possible. Of course, like our ideas is we want to do more, we want to collaborate with more KOLs, we want to do more AMAs, we want to share this concept through maybe even group AMAs, maybe video AMA like this. We want to attend blockchain conferences and we want to share this concept. We want to look for ambassadors from different countries who want to help us spread this concept to their country, to their people. And of course, we're going to talk about how it benefits both parties, right? So that more people in the world can receive the benefits that we are sharing and more people know about this concept of Nagaya. Because credibility wise, we've been around for 5 years, 6 years now. There's nothing to even ask about credibility anymore.
Right.
Right. And we've been awarded, we have recognitions, we have a physical office in Singapore and South Korea. We have a customer support, for God's sake, right? Everything is available. So what more would you want to ask for? It's just about spreading this message to as many people as possible. So we are on
Right.
that for sure.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And if anybody out there is, interested in being part and, joining in that ambassador program, definitely, join the socials, contact them. Like you said, you have a real office, so they can reach out to you, email, any other contact with.
Absolutely, absolutely. Please reach out to me. We have a Telegram group at Nagaya Holders Community. I think that's what's called, right? There's so many groups. Sometimes I forgot, right? Nagaya
Right.
Holders Community, right? And maybe later on we can add in the chat, right? Or you can also message me on Instagram at sorry, on Telegram at Nagaya.official, and let's talk.
Perfect. Now, as we, I'm sure we're all aware of, at the moment, cryptocurrency is really hot. It has a very strong trajectory so far within 2024. How do you think the Nagaya, with its hybrid concept, could set itself apart from others in the space at the moment?
How can we set ourselves apart? Okay, first of all, the narrative of the real world asset that people are talking about right now, we have been believing in it. We have been talking about it. We have been educating the market. We have been, we have been doing it since 2018. So we have credibility and we have track record. We have a physical mine that's located in Sulawesi in Indonesia. So that can set us apart. That can be credibility for people who want to know more about us, and they can see, oh, Nagaya has credibility. They've been doing it since 2018. So the real world asset narrative is exactly what we have been waiting for, Craig.
Mhm.
It's exactly what we've been waiting for.
You are
We
a
have
bit
been
ahead of your time.
we have been waiting for this, right? Because we're like, it's about time that people realize that blockchain technology is supposed to add value to the real world,
Exactly. My sentiments, exactly.
right? To the real human beings. Like, if it's not adding any value to human beings, to the earth that we are living in, then what's the point? Everybody's talking about digital projects, digital projects, digital projects. We've been going against the stream since 2018. So we've been waiting until people start realizing, come on, guys, what are you going to do about the planet? What are you going to do about the world? And when, like, I was just doing my research these past couple of months, people are talking about real world asset. I am so happy, Craig, that people are starting to realize the importance of integrating blockchain technology with real world assets, with the real world. And since we have been doing it since 2018, I think that will kind of give us the edge over others who have just started afresh doing it. So that's the first one. That's, I think, what can set us up apart from others. Number two is, of course, the industry that we are in, which is nickel, right? It's the really high barrier to entry market. Craig, as what I've shared in the beginning, just for your information, right? Indonesia is the largest producer of nickel and exporter of nickel all over the world, right? Because the quality of Indonesian nickel is the best, and it's the best used for, aside from electric vehicle batteries, it's also used for stainless steels, for example, right? It's a high barrier to entry, of course, and you know, being the leading nickel producer in the world, it's we are so grateful that we have been in this business since 2018. So in the future we want to keep doing business in the nickel industry because we want to support the net zero global emission agenda. We want to support, we want to be able to add, we want to be able to contribute to the net zero global emission agenda, and that's why we are in the nickel industry, we're in the nickel business. So that's one thing that can set us up apart. The third one is the gold reserve. So aside from the real world asset, aside from nickel, Nagaya is also backed by gold. The reason is, we don't just add gold to Nagaya just because we feel like doing it. The reason gold is there is to manage its risk, so that worst case scenario, no matter what happens, there is a the price of Nagaya, we expect it to not go down below the value of the gold that's backing it up. So that's number three. And number four, of course, the collaboration and partnerships. We are aggressively, constantly looking for collaborations and partnerships all over the world, Craig, that can give benefits to our holders, can give a lot of value to our holders just by holding Nagaya. And we are not stopping to look for that. I think those four things are what will set us apart in the market.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you for that. Thank you for that detailed explanation. So Nagaya has the tagline "Award-winning concept." Can you share any recent recognitions and notable awards that Nagaya has achieved? I think you did mention at the very beginning one or two.
Yeah. Yeah. So as what I've mentioned in the beginning, our CEO, Mr. Johannes Chandra, has been honored with not just one, but two prestigious Korea National Brand Awards. So this is under the category of the best CEO, you know, as well as the category of overseas resource development, specifically for the development and application of the innovational Nagaya method, as what I've mentioned, right? Nagaya method is being able to combine resource development, which is nickel, and blockchain technology into one beautiful concept, right? That's what we are awarded for. And this, aside from just the recognition, Craig, this is also, this is also, he's also the first non-Korean, by the way, to be receiving this award, which serves to acknowledge outstanding management and also next generation business model for the nickel mining and processing industry, which will play a notable role in establishing stronger industrial ties between Indonesia and South Korea. So that Nagaya method, the Nagaya method, is not just about a personal recognition for our CEO, but is also looked upon as a way to strengthen the ties, the business ties, economic ties between the country of Indonesia and South Korea. That's the latest achievement recognition that we have received. And for more footage and more information about that award, you can check us out at our YouTube channel at Nagaya Technologies. It's all there, man. All
Yeah,
information.
I'll certainly do it. No, that's very impressive indeed. I mean, I love to see, like I said, projects actually doing things in the real world. Is not just smoke and mirrors a lot of times that we see with some projects.
Agree. Agree.
Okay, so are there any? I know you've spoken a lot of the successes. Are there any unique challenges that Nagaya has faced recently, and how have you overcome them?
Of course, man. There was one specific challenge that we faced recently. We're still facing it right now, by the way. You know, we sharing this concept of Nagaya, Craig, to the world is like going against the stream, right? It's like we are doing. It's like a lot of people in the in the community are thinking Nagaya is deliberately doing things that are not done in the community. First of all, there, not a lot of, and we're not talking this 2024, we're talking to 2023, 2022, 2021, right? Not a lot of people, not a lot of crypto projects have legality. We did. Not a
Right.
lot of crypto projects have physical office. We did since the very beginning. Our legality is in Singapore, one of the strictest country in the world, right? A lot of people were running digital projects. We were running physical projects since the beginning. A lot of people were not backed by gold, a lot of coins. We were backed by gold. So it's like we are deliberately doing things differently. So to convince people of our long-term vision of why everything that we do has meaning was the biggest challenge there is. Biggest challenge, and we can only say we know where we are going. This is why we are doing what we do. This is why every aspect of the concept of Nagaya is there, because we can see the future. We can see where the future is heading. And we want to make sure that you, as a holder, is able to hold an asset that will grow in the long run. We don't want to just create an asset that you have today and then it goes up a little bit and then it's dumped. We don't want that. We want to create something sustainable. Great.
Or it's not just strictly speculation on why it's going up. A lot of these assets is nothing more than speculation.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's sad. I mean, and unfortunately, a lot of people still fall for that. I mean, that's a choice, that's a choice. Everybody has their own choice. But the biggest challenge that we face is to actually explain Nagaya's concept and make people understand where we are going with this concept. Slowly by slowly, step by step, the world is starting to show why what we do matters. Like, for example, the real world asset tokenization agenda. We've been saying to you guys since the beginning. When there's a market crash, for example, there's a bear market, we expect that the price of Nagaya will not fall that much because they're backed by gold, right? When you guys have any challenge, when you guys have any problems with Nagaya, you can contact us in our email. We have a support that will help you. So to convince people about our concept and why we built this concept for the long term was the challenge. But at the same time, Craig, we were so grateful that through the challenge, we are able to find holders that completely understand our concept and is holding for dear life. And we are not stopping there. We are definitely not stopping there. We want to go worldwide and explain this concept. We don't mind doing multiple education in a day, doing Zoom meetings. We really don't mind, but we want more people all over the world to be able to at least understand our concept, and then you make the decision whether you want to buy or not.
Right. No, I think that's the best way because, like I said, sometimes it's hard to completely grasp a project just at a glance. And I mean, people that are really that have a bit of a concept. You don't have to be super intelligent, but just have a little bit of concept of how business works, how important leadership is, and all of the things that you mentioned. I mean, it literally just makes sense. I'm really just I was obviously aware of the project, but this is my first time speaking with you guys, and I've just learned a lot just in this short period of time, and it checks all the boxes for me of what I would look for in a project. So I think once you get that message out there, the people are intelligent enough to realize the actual value in the project. So I think that's the perfect strategy.
Thanks, Craig. And for anyone who is watching, we are already listed on La Token, so go ahead. Get your Nagaya there.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so we touched on this. Obviously, the community obviously plays a very important part in the growth of any project. So, how has Nagaya's approach to the user engagement and the actual community building evolved over the years?
Okay. So our community is very, very important for us. Very important. Since the very beginning, we have really touched base on education. Craig, being very, very important. We used to have Zoom meetings once a week, twice a week, sometimes even more, right? So we think we see our community as very, very important. So how are we going to keep serving our community in the long run? Is there are several things that we have in mind. First of all, is by running prospective projects, by running real projects, by running projects that can provide value to our holders, right? So that's our first and foremost priority. We want to make sure we run the projects well, the projects that are already running goes well, the projects that we are going to run goes well, so that we can provide benefits to our Nagaya holders, so they can receive something just by holding the asset. That's number one. That's our commitment to our community. Our second commitment to our community is we want to keep upholding our motto. Since the beginning, it has not changed, Greg. Our motto is building trust and value through legality and transparency. Yeah. So we want to make sure that our holders are able to get all the information that they need about Nagaya as much as possible, right? So that they can make a well-informed decision about Nagaya, right? The third one is our utilities. We want to keep looking for new utility and vendors, strategic collaborations that again our holders is able to enjoy as a Nagaya holder, right? Enjoy as a Nagaya holder just by holding their Nagaya. We have been pretty slow on that since the past few months because we were focused on our listing, but we are going to get back there again real soon. So for some of our holders over here who are like, yeah, the collaboration part is a little slow, we understand. We understand. We are going to get back there real soon because we were focused on listing, right? We are going to get back there again real soon, you know.
Perfect, perfect.
And of course, through our community, Craig, we have a Telegram group channel Telegram group and Telegram channel where we are constantly giving information, updates, education about Nagaya to them on a regular basis. That's how we prove to our holders that they matter to us. Everything we do is for them.
Right, exactly. And obviously, we encourage anybody listening or watching this to join the Telegram, ask questions, read everything that's there, learn more about it, and make that decision for yourselves.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Do your own due diligence. Come to the Telegram group, ask your questions. You know, we are there. We are there to help you.
Perfect. Okay, and so finally, as we move further into the year, what's shaping up to be a very exciting 2024, what are Nagaya's long-term vision and goals?
Okay. So our long-term vision is very simple. We want to utilize real-world asset tokenization and combine it with blockchain technology. It's plain and simple. We want to run the best projects available in the world, and we want these projects to be able to provide benefits to our holders in the form of staking, right? So we want to look for the best resource development projects, physical projects around the world, so that these projects can provide benefits to our holders. And at the same time, from the asset point of view, we want to make sure that the price of Nagaya is relatively more stable with a tendency to increase with time. It may not seem like it is right now, by the way. It may not seem like it is relatively more stable with a tendency to increase with time. But with everything, there's always an adjustment period. So for some of you who are looking at our chart and it's like, it doesn't look that way, there is an adjustment period for everything, right? So that's what we are heading. That's where we are heading, right? So in terms of the asset, we are doing everything we can so that our initial vision that's relatively more stable with a tendency to increase with time is fulfilled by backing it with gold, again, as a risk management, right? Providing benefits to our holders, providing utilities and collaborations to our holders, and of course, providing our community with all sorts of education, information, and updates that they need. So we are looking to change the game, the real world asset tokenization game, and we want to look to come out on top in that.
No, and I'm sure the project will. Like I said, I found this this AMA to be very insightful, even just for myself. I'm always on the lookout for for great new projects, so I appreciate it. And like I said, from all of us here at La Token, everybody watching, want to thank you for joining us. Stay tuned for more updates. Don't forget to follow our social media channels, Nagaya's social media channels for the latest news and developments. And thank you, everybody. Hey, have a blessed day.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure, Danny.
Pleasure, man. Thank you so much.